What's up and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we're talking about the new Charlie Kaufman film, I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Found over on Netflix. I've always been a fan of Charlie Kaufman, and I find him to be an intellectual filmmaker that often makes you think. He confuses you, he forces you to contemplate on what you just saw long after you just saw it. The same can be said about this film, which is yet another mind melter, and quite possibly Kaufman's highest of highbrow screenplays out there. Let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, highbrow. A person who is highbrow is somebody who possesses or has pretensions to superior learning or culture. I'm Thinking of Ending Things introduces us to a young couple on a journey to meet the parents. The young woman, however, is going through a mix of emotions as she's struggling on deciding whether or not to stay with her boyfriend. And as the title signifies, she's thinking of ending things. One of the biggest things that I've noticed while reading people's observations on the film as a whole is that it's going over everybody's head. I can't even tell you how many comments that I've read that didn't understand the film at all. To them, it's just this massive, self-indulgent mess of incoherent dialogue, all of which amounts to nothing. Far too many people think they wasted their time watching the movie, so my goal during this review is to maybe get you in a different mindset before you watch it. That way, you'll have the best possible chance to enjoy it. But I fear that this is one of those instances where you'll either understand it or you won't. I'm not gonna hand you the meaning of the film on a silver platter. If I did that, that would be stealing the experience from somebody else. Here's my first suggestion: keep an open mind and pay attention to everything. I'm not kidding when I say everything in the movie, whether you believe it or not, is important. The movie, and Charlie Kaufman in general, is incredibly highbrow, so there's a lot of scholarly references made in the film that won't mean that much to you. But if you sat and you researched those references, you actually appreciate the whole movie a little bit more. You don't need to understand absolutely everything, just pay attention to the little things, like the main girl's name. Every time they call her something, pay attention, because her name keeps changing. That's not even much of a spoiler, because it's nothing they even focus on that much. If you miss it, you miss it. Kaufman doesn't even care if you catch these little things or not, but it is important, so keep an eye on that. Also keep an eye on color changes, primarily in what the girl is wearing. As she discovers more about her world and her environment, she physically transforms her appearance. When you first see her, she's very, very red. Red hair, red hat, red coat, red shirt. When she gets to the parents, there's a lot of blue and yellow hues as to what she's wearing, which matches the odd nature of the house. In the third act, she apparently has this giant wardrobe change and has a blue hat, blue coat, blue shirt, and her once bright red hair is now very, very dark. This is also symbolizing the changes her character is going through. Here's my second suggestion. Watch this movie like it's either an episode of The Twilight Zone or it's all a dream. Charlie Kaufman often focuses on how the mind works. Most prominently seen in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, that movie does a great job of showing you weird fragments of how a mind pieces together a puzzle. I'm Thinking of Ending Things sometimes follows the same procedure, just in a much more contained and less explosive manner. Don't watch it as a normal, linear story. Those that do will undoubtedly be lost. Instead, I implore you to watch it like it's a puzzle that needs to be solved. Be your own Sherlock Holmes and try to solve the puzzle. If you don't get it on the first go, watch it again and try again. It might take a few viewings before it clicks, but that's okay. Don't despair or give up, because it's a very smart movie. Once you figure it out, your mind will be blown. If I had anything negative to say about it at all, it would be that I didn't figure all the little stuff out. Why are there scratches at the door? Why is everybody apologizing for a bad smell? What's up with the Oklahoma musical? What's up with the dancers? There's all these little things that happen in the movie that definitely mean something, even if just metaphorically, that I couldn't quite figure out on the first viewing. And because it's so utterly highbrow, there's all these references to people, books, and things that a normal audience member will never be able to understand without hours of research at minimum. So a part of me wants to say that the film is unnecessarily self-indulgent at times, but it's not an incoherent mess. I understand the overall point, and if you can do that, the rest won't matter as much. Let's take a look at my final score. From an unbiased technical level, I think this is a very smart movie that does a very good job at keeping things original and unpredictable. It's slightly self-indulgent at times, but to be fair, what isn't? My unbiased score is 90%. My personal bias score is slightly lower, it's 86%, which is still pretty good, but my experience as a whole went from bored to confused to uncomfortable before it got interested in the film. I much prefer the last two acts over the first. 1st. Averaging out the two scores together, we come to the final rating of 88%, 88 out of 100 possible stars, granting the movie with a letter grade of B+. Not too shabby at all. Guys, let's hear your thoughts on I'm Thinking of Ending Things in the comment section down below. As far as Charlie Kaufman films go, which one's your favorite? As for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this review, because there's always more like it coming out each and every single day. Hit the subscribe button and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out.
Dave examines movies we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the #1 critic that I go to when I need a movie pick. Thanks for joining up with us.